choose your fighter. Grant Patrizio versus.
Senor Donut.
Welcome to the show, everybody. That's right. You heard it here. We are the Super Banter Bros, back to banter at you again about the things that make us us. And let's start this episode the way we start them all. My favorite donut. What have? Oh, something else first.
Before we
Take the
do
floor.
that,
Take the floor, please.
if you were in a fighting game, Grant, you know
Hmm.
how they have like those like choose your fighter screens and like they have like an animation sometimes with the fighter, like when you're like covering them or whatever or selecting
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
What would be your window? What would your window look like?
Like the window, like the pose I take in the window, or the animation that would
Yes.
play when I get picked.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't help at all.
So
Uh,
let's say it's the animation when the cursor hovers over you and then
okay.
the animation when you get picked.
Okay. Let's see. All I know, I don't have exact visions of these figured out right now. I just know that I would be the fighter that doesn't look like he belongs there, because all of my animations when being selected as a character would be super happy and jovial. Like I'd probably be like standing up with a little bit of a sort of happy-go-lucky arm sway, or to
Mhm.
give a fighting game as a reference, Cream the Rabbit's idle animation from Sonic Battle, where it's just kind of like this.
Okay.
Um, and then when I get picked, I might do a little spin and a cheesy, full, like eyes closed, thumbs up with a toothy grin.
Nice. All right.
What?
I have to get ready for mine. Hold on.
Oh,
So this would be my animation for when the cursor's over me.
okay. Oh man.
And then after I get picked, it would be like, "You're going down." That would be
Oh
mine.
my
That would be mine.
god. Oh my god. So imagine what it would be like to have us against each other in this hypothetical Super Banter Bros fighting game. Like
Oh my
just
god.
me over here being happy go lucky and then somehow holding my own, and you being like super intimidating. Oh, you're going down. And then
I
being
I
like,
so I've never rehearsed that in my life, and I'm wondering what it's gonna look like in the recording, how unhinged I'm gonna look.
well, all I can say right now is during the recording session itself, you were coming in a little bit pixely and choppy. So all I saw was like, I don't know, like a 23 frames per second version of your animation. And at the
Nice.
23 frames per second version, it did look pretty unhinged. Uh, so we'll see how it looks in the, in the mastered version of the episode. But before we get to the meat and potatoes, what have you been playing, my favorite donut? My answer is easy, so
Well,
you're going first.
yes. I have been playing uh, a couple of things. I actually finally finished playing the game Is This Seat Taken, which is a
Ooh.
puzzle game where you move a bunch of shapes around, shapes that have human characteristics. So I think the term is anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So anthropomorphic shapes around seating arrangements, whether it's in a bus, whether it's in an office, whether it's in a classroom, and each shape has their own likes and dislikes. Some don't like sitting next to stinky people. Some don't like sitting next to people with too much cologne. Some want to talk with somebody. Some want to be alone. And you have to figure out where best to arrange these shapes so that they are the happiest. So that's what that game's about. Very fun, very it's that puzzle scratch right there that it gets going, and it's fantastic. And I
Nice.
finally got 100% on the game, beating
Wow.
all the levels, getting all the gold stars, beating all the bonus levels. So yeah, it was very cool, very fun, had a great time playing it. Um, and that game is added to the list of games that we have beaten, um,
Nice.
since we started streaming. So yeah, it's great to take another game off of the backlog of infinite sadness. So,
Oh yeah.
yep, we have taken that game off of the list. Super happy with that. And also we have re reacquainted ourselves with Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves. So we're playing that game on stream as well. And we also started Infamous too. Not the second game, but the first game.
Got
Another
it.
game by Sucker Punch Studios. Um, which we found out actually makes us a little bit motion sick. So, I don't
Oh.
know if I'm going to continue playing that game or if I can figure out a way for it not to make me motion sick, because I do wanna finish the game because it's a fantastic series,
You
but
mentioned having similar problems with Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically, but it might be just Kingdom Hearts in general. Maybe, like, I guess when you're older, you're more prone to motion sickness or something. Maybe I just need to do a little bit more research and find out exactly what it is, because that would really suck. Not being able to play some of these games. I do want to give a quick shout out to the Streamers Against Child Abuse team for this past Child Abuse Prevention Month, where we had a goal of $4,000.69 being raised for the organization A Family for Every Child, but we smashed that goal and raised 5,600, or I think it's $682.69. Nice.
Nice.
For the organization. So I just want to give a quick shout out to the Sokka team and all of its team members for raising the funds. And of course, all of the amazing communities that back those streamers, because we wouldn't have been able to reach that goal without you. And I now have a couple of things that I have to do because we raise those funds. First of all, I have to do a raffle giveaway for my Animal Crossing gift pack that is worth
Hmm.
a little over 80 bucks and is going to one lucky participant. I didn't think anybody would enter that giveaway because there was a lot of other great prizes in the giveaways that the streamers were doing. But no, over 20 people registered for that giveaway.
That's really
So
cool.
it's really cool. But now I have to do a giveaway for all of that stuff. And I'm like, well, I I don't know how exactly to do it, but I'm gonna ask around and figure it out. um, and then I also am on the hook for my first ever karaoke stream.
Oh boy.
So I have come up with the idea of doing a D20 roll for a karaoke song. I'm going to have 20 songs on a list. I'm going to roll the D20 and see what number we get. And then we're going to sing a song for karaoke.
What if the dice roll gives you a number multiple times? Do you just sing that song multiple times?
No, no, no. We're gonna remove it from the list. Once
Okay.
a song is sung, it's gonna be removed from the list, because it would be really funny to roll multiple nat ones and have to sing, "Never Gonna Give You Up" multiple times, but,
It'll basically
you
be a
know
Rickroll stream at that point.
I know, exactly. So, we're gonna be removing songs as they are rolled, but we will keep a tally of what's rolled, so that way we know how much we rolled of things.
Gotcha.
So that's on the hook. And then another one that I made on the spot because, I'm dumb like that. I made a wager with my community and I said, look, if we raise this much money, I will do a horror game stream. You know how much I hate horror games.
I do
I
because we hate
abhor them.
horror games about the same amount.
Yeah, yeah. So I said, "Hey, we're not gonna get to this amount." We got to that amount shortly after. Shortly after. So I'm on the hook to play a game called Ghost Janitor, which I am not looking forward to.
Merely
Yeah.
by the name of it, I feel you. I wish you all the best, my favorite
And
donut.
then and then not only that, but I was like, "Ain't no way we're gonna double that." We doubled it shortly thereafter. So
Because
now
of course.
I'm on the hook for another horror game of the person's choosing. So, yeah, I got a karaoke stream, a giveaway, and 2 horror games that I'm on the hook for because I participated in the Child Abuse Prevention Month donation drive that we did for family for every child. I am super excited that we raised the funds for the organization. I am dreading what comes next.
Well,
So, yeah.
let me ask you something just to try and quell the old nerves. Do you have to beat these horror games, or do
No,
you
we're
just have
just
to play
playing
them
them.
once?
We're just playing them.
Okay,
I
okay,
did not say that we were gonna beat them, I said that I would play them on stream.
okay. At least you baked in that out for yourself. Good job.
So, yes, I am very pleased that we, made our goal surpassed our goal even, so that's what I've been doing. And Grant, why don't you tell me what you've been playing?
Okay. Well, just kind of by accident, I stumbled into the platinum trophy on my main file on the PS5 of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I I
Wait. The platinum trophy for Sonic Crossworlds? You've already done it?
uh already is generous because there are players out there who did it much faster than me within the first few weeks compared to the first 6 months. But I was
Wow.
playing through the Goro Majima Festival from Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and I had a lot of tickets to spend on things. I spent the tickets, and I got the in-game achievements or the in-game titles for those expenditures, and then the
Mhm.
platinum trophy popped up, and I'm like, wait, that's it? I thought I'd have to get every single in-game achievement met for the platinum, but all right, I'll take it. Sweet. Um, I've been, tooling around in Pokopia still, just because I'm hopelessly addicted. I've been playing Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness via the GameCube NSO. I'm in a bit of a grinding phase before the apparently very, very long final dungeon, which spans
Oh.
from like level 35 to level 55. So I'm in a bit of a grinding phase there. Um, on stream, I picked up my Pokemon Infinite Fusion file that I've been piecing my way through for the first time in forever. And I realized that when I said it's an insane randomizer, it is very insane to the point where I don't even get access to basic items and things like the bike voucher for a bicycle. So I had to
Oh.
go in the game and tweak some of the settings a bit so I could actually get access to basic items and feel secure for end game and grinding and stuff. Which
Mm.
I thought I could hack it the whole way through without that. I hopelessly could not. So,
Oh,
luckily
no.
for me, I found the way to do it, and then I could re-randomize it now that I have a steady, stable base of like
Mm.
potions and actually usable Pokeballs and stuff. Um, and I learned about, and this is something I'm gonna do in the future. I
Mhm.
learned about a demo for a game called Twilight Requiem, which takes inspiration from Kingdom Hearts and the Souls series. I saw a video about it on my socials, and because the combat looks very Kingdom Hearts 2, I downloaded the demo just before we started recording, and
Mm.
haven't really had the chance to pick it up yet. So
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
Looking forward to it.
Same. Um, But as y'all could probably guess from the intro and the first question we did, now to get into the topic itself, we talking fighting games. Whether it
Hell
be
yeah.
the traditional 2D fighter, the Tekken style, like 8 directional movement fighter, platform fighters like Smash and Multiverses, arena fighters.
So, would you say that we are talking about the EVO-lution of fighting games? Uh,
The
uh.
evolution of fighting games. Senior Donut
Yes.
pulling a pun before I could. If we were in person right now, I'd be giving you a handshake, a fist bump, and a hug, brother. I am
Hell
so
yeah.
proud. I am so proud.
Did you know that at the time of this recording, EVO is going on in Japan?
Say what? I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. That's why I thought you wanted to do this topic because EVO was going on.
I just picked it because I figured it'd be something we enjoyed talking about and could both contribute to. That is literally it.
So yeah, EVO is actually do you know what EVO is, Grant? It
It
sounds like you do.
it's a large scale fighting game tournament. Of various fighting games, I should say. It's a
Yes.
I know that the latest Street Fighter is usually there. Up until recently, some manner of Smash was usually there. Probably Melee, because that Melee is like the most competitively tuned of the Smash games, says the fandom. But Ultimate's also really good at that.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
just pretty much any fighting game you can think of that has a tournament has some kind of competitive play at Evo. And many of the big headliners have like a final stage at like the main arena or something.
Yes, yes. The first time I ever heard about, uh, you know, I've always played fighting games. I enjoy playing fighting games. They're super fun. It's that competitive, you know, competitive like head to head competition that you had with your friends back in the day. You would have Street Fighter, you would have Mortal Kombat. You'd play with your friends and be like, "I kicked your ass. What now?" Blah 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 blah, talking all that shit and all that boo
Yep.
boo that you would be talking. It was the best form of therapeutic smash, shit talking that I ever got, growing up. Because you would talk the most profane amount of shit, in these games. At least I would. I would
Yeah.
I was the biggest shit talker in these games. I'd always play them. I would usually I would win. And then I would fight someone who was way better than me, and I would be like, "Well, fuck this guy. I don't wanna play them anymore," but I continue playing. I would continue playing because there's nothing more thrilling than overcoming a huge challenge. Like, you and I have talked at various points about Smash and how we used to
Yep.
play Smash together, and
Yep.
how you were the fucking boss character because you were so good at the game.
I and like I said back then, I am honored to be your boss fight, my favorite donut. I am honored to be your boss fight. And just to to further clarify the types of smack talkers there are in fighting games, you have the donut variety, and then you have the Grant variety that was illustrated in this one little fun E3 story. The very first E3 I went to while they were still around and or in person, rest in peace E3, we hardly knew ye. Um, I found this opportunity to audition, more or less, to be a gaming sportscaster type person for over fighting games with military personnel who also happen to be massive gamers. One of these
Mm.
military personnel was there for anybody who wanted to try their luck, and my I was with my chosen sister Sam at the time. She's like, "Great, you should do it." I'm like, "I'm not good at this kind of game." There she's like, "Oh, please, half of its personality, get in there." So I do. And as part of my banter, being asked about fighting games and things like that, I just say my fighting game of choice is Smash or the platform fighter variety.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
and I made the joke, if I fire more than three special attacks, then consider it lucky. So we play a few rounds. First round, he wins. I end up firing two of these special attacks. Then
Mhm.
in the second round, I fire two more. The dude comments on it. It's like, hey, you fired four of them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I did. So just because, some of these fighting games come with control schemes that these hands are not used to.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, you've got the toward your opponent shit talkers, and then you've got the toward yourself shit talkers, where if you do become somebody's boss fight, neither party expects it.
So, could you give me an example of your version of shit talking?
I thought I just did with the story. I'm just like, look, man, I don't consider myself very good at this. If I land more of three of this certain type of attack, it's luck, I promise you.
No, but that was
Um,
somebody else commenting. I want something that you have said. I wanna be triggered by what you say right now.
but Donut, that's the problem. I don't like triggering people. So I
But
don't
you do
have
it
that.
so well. You do it so
How
well
though?
when you're that's the thing, I don't know, but when we're playing together, we're, like, playing and having a good time, and I'm like, "God damn it, Grant, you stop." And then you say something so kind and nice, but because you said it, it makes it sound so patronizing, and it just
Like,
drives me insane.
so I think in those moments, it's either something like, I don't know. I'm thinking back to a Smash match we had where I hit you with Cloud's forward air, the thing where he just jumps and
Mhm.
hits you in the head with the sword and spikes you downward. Sometimes
Yes.
I just say things like bonk when I hit with those sorts of attacks.
Mhm.
Or when you're like, I don't get how you do this. I'm just like, you can do, Donut. I believe in you.
Yeah, something like that. Something like you fucking did it right now, Grant. You fucking triggered me with that phrase. You just sound so it's like I imagine you saying it, like I'm looking at you right now. I could see the reaction on your face, but when you said that, I can imagine the biggest shit-eating grin on your face that I've ever seen and you delivering that line.
So I
Fucking
have to
triggered.
I have to ask because Smash is such a big part of our history. When we did our old podcast, The Pugs, before it changed direction, um, we had our group of friends that we called the Pugs because they were frequent guests on it, always play the game with us. So I
Mhm.
have to ask if you can remember from long ago when the pyramids were still young. It's do did I say it even back then in a way that sounded like I had a shit eating grin? Because,
Yes, 100%.
oh my God. Oh my God. Is it one?
100%.
Is it okay? So I think another form of my shit talking then would be actually outside of a match in a Smash lobby where I'm just like, okay, you know what? The votes are in. I've been in way too many matches. I'ma sit out.
Oh my god. God damn it, Grant. You're pressing all the buttons right now with what you're saying. Uh, "Hey guys, I think I've been involved in too many matches. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back." Like, come on, come on.
Like literally, when you guys tell me that I need to sit out, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit out. This can give me a water break. I'll be RB. But that only applies to Smash in terms of me and fighting games.
Yes.
Literally, that's it. Um, like, get me in a Street Fighter ring, get me in King of Fighters, get me in Tekken. Okay, maybe Sonic the Fighters I'd be okay, but that's not Evo compliant, I don't think. Um, get me in any traditional 2D fighting game or even an arena fighter like Power Stone. That Grant does not show up. And if he does, I don't even know he's there. Quite literally.
So, yeah, fighting games have come a long way from their roots of, Wh what was it? It was, the karate game that was on the NES, you remember that
Oh
one?
my. Vaguely, yes. Vaguely.
Yeah, like, super, rudimentary fighting games where, like, a hit would knock you down. You would
Yep.
have very little buttons. You would
Yep.
have a jump button and a strike button, and that was it.
Mhm.
I think of another PC game, which was not more of a fighting game, but more of a, sequence memory game, which was,
Hmm.
Karateka.
Never
If
heard of
you've
it.
ever no, it's on PC. They had a PC, remake, launch, for I wanna say a few years back, but in that game, you would react to what the computer would throw at you. They would
Mhm.
have a set, um, "Hey, they're gonna do this, and you have to react with this," uh, kind of, um, kind of gameplay. Like, the earliest fighting game that I remember playing, was Street Fighter. Not Street Fighter 2, but the original Street Fighter, and I remember
Oh,
playing it on an arcade cabinet, in a laundromat back in the day. 'Cause we didn't have laundry on site, so we had to go to some place to get our laundry done, and my moms would give us, quarters or whatever to shut us up so that we could go play a game, but
nice.
this game did not work very well. At
No.
least the controls for Street Fighter didn't work very well. They were some very shitty controls. I'm so surprised that they even were able to come out with Street Fighter 2, which was such like miles different and more complex than Street Fighter was, the original Street Fighter. So when we look at the evolution of Street Fighter, we can go all the way back to like, and I'm sure there's even further back fighting games that that I wasn't around for, besides the karate game that was on the NES. Um, but, fighting games have gone from, you score a point for striking somebody or popping a balloon in Joust or,
Yeah.
something of that nature to more complex things where you have different button inputs, different strengths for each button. So,
Yep.
instead of having just one punch button and one kick button, you now have 3 for each.
Strong,
And
medium, light, medium, and heavy.
fierce. Yeah. Oh, it would be light, medium, and fierce, or like you said, heavy as well. Um, and the terminology changes, but it's gotten to the point where people are breaking down these fighting games and looking at iframes and
Yup.
button input combinations. Like I think you sent me this video where they were talking about in Smash how you can do a double jump, um, and it moves you further across the screen, but it's a quick double jump. It's not a double jump where you jump and then wait for the apex of that jump to jump again, because that would give you a slower jump
Yeah.
and descent. Whereas if you do the quick jump, double jump, it's it's just like, one right after the other, and it allows you to move much quicker across the stage. There are different, things that have been discovered in
Oh,
these
yeah.
games just because of people wanting that competitive edge, you
Mhm.
know?
And
So
depending on the game or the character, each game or character has its own unique mechanics baked in. Like, it's why one of the reasons why, as my fighting game genre of choice, I love the mascot platform fighter so much. Because, yes, you have the stage that's fairly universal, and you have the same types of commands: jump, double jump, special attack, regular attack, grab button, etc. But depending on the character you pick, each combination of buttons does uniquely different things. Like,
mhm,
some characters' basic attacks are long kicks or singular punches. Some get combos with infinite jab strings at the end. Um, Using my Blue Boy Sonic, for example, you can pair his side special with a well timed double jump to catapult yourself across the stage through the air and basically not be knocked out ever if you time it right, unless you take enough damage. Um, Iframes also play a role in Smash, and hitboxes, and just figuring out when you land certain attacks based on the damage your opponent takes. But in more
Mhm.
traditional fighting games, you don't really have like the damage for further knockback systems compared to platform fighters. So it's really just figuring out what attacks chain together based on where your opponent is. Like, I think I've seen a long time ago a Street Fighter combo video. I forget if it's for 4 or 5, where Ryu does a double low light kick to pop his opponent up to then time it into the Tatsumaki Seppukyaku to do more hits, then fire a Hadoken to try to time it for when they would typically get up, and it would just bonk them in the head.
Mhm.
And all of that takes a lot of precision to get down. Competitive edge, yes, of course, but just precision. And then with the games like Tekken or Virtua Fighter, where it's not just moving left and right, but you can move back and forth in the screen to try
Mhm.
to get to your opponent's back the long way. Soul Calibur does this too.
Yep.
Um,
Dead or Alive as well.
and moving in that direction gives you your own attacks with their own properties to start their own combos.
Juggling combos are a
Oh,
huge thing in
God.
fighting games, especially in those, 8 direction fighters. Like, I've seen Tekken players, do infinite juggle moves or, use a juggle to get into a different combo.
Yep.
Um, in Dead or Alive, they had a reversal system where you can reverse attacks and then chain that into your own stuff. Soul Calibur had parries and things like that where you can parry an attack and get into your own. I've had
Yep.
moments in Soul Calibur where I would parry and then they would parry and then I would parry. It would
Oh my
just be like one of
God.
those kind of things. And those moments where your skill is going against somebody else's skill and you guys are evenly matched and it feels like almost a cinematic battle is taking place. It makes it so fucking cool.
Oh, if you want cinematic battles, I need to tell you about high level Dragon Ball fighters. Because recently, some videos from them have been coming across my feed. Like, I think it was from a big tournament. These two players, well known in fighters, both started as base Vegeta,
You
and
sent me this video too.
they literally clashed with the exact same combo string, beat for beat. It gets such a big reaction, and it literally looks like, well, obviously it looks like a Dragon Ball fight because it's in a Dragon Ball fighting game. But if it didn't have the Dragon Ball skin over it, you would say this looks like something out of Dragon Ball. Just
Mhm.
because of how effortlessly their attacks were clashing with each other for a good 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
fucking wild, just how crazy some of these things look. That's how professional these players have gotten. They're
mm-hmm.
practicing for hours and hours on end just to shave a little bit more reaction time off of their combo to make it that much more difficult for somebody to get out of it. And all of these fighting games that are now coming out, like I think it's called Marvel, TonCon or something like that, or,
Yeah, I heard
uh,
about that.
that game is coming out and it has a very similar mechanic to Fighters, to Dragon Ball Fighters, where you have a team of 3 and you're, comboing and fighting out of different things. Like, all of these newer fighting games coming out have to take all of the things that the community has discovered in other games and try to modify it, tweak it so that they can make it their own thing.
Yeah.
And it is like fighting game fans are fucking eating right now. There's so many new fighting games that are coming out. The fight scene, for tournaments is a big thing. Like I
Mhm.
said, EVO's going on in Japan. I think they just wrapped up EVO in Vegas, last year, uh, like early last or late last year. So it's it's very interesting to see, who's coming out on top in some of these matches. Um, I think there was like a 10-year-old kid who was in one of these tournaments, uh, last I think in the Vegas Evo. Uh,
Mhm.
some teenager or below teen level, kid who was playing this game and fucking mopping the floor with these, you know, 20, 30-year-old gamers, and god, must it be such a fucking bruise to the ego to get
Oh my
taken out by a
god.
child in these kind of scenarios. Like,
Oh my god, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Oh man.
it's I don't know, man, like, I think I would quit the fight scene altogether. Like,
Look, I'm just gonna say this. The day the mini donut beats me in Smash will be the day that this boss fight has been slain. And I fully expect the mini donut to beat me in Smash someday. I fully
we'll
expect it.
see. I actually tried playing Smash with him not too long ago and was trying to teach him how to, you know, maneuver and jump and do different moves and everything, and he is like, "I don't wanna play this game anymore, dad," and I was like, "Well, that's too damn bad."
Oh,
I'm just joking, I didn't do that.
I
Um,
think I think he would be what I am for most fighting games, a fighting game fan and watcher rather than a
yeah,
player.
yeah, um, but it's just it's fascinating to see, just the different skill levels that come to these fighting game tournaments and put on these fucking clinics and just show you, you know, how much of a fucking scrub you are compared to them and their skill.
which
I'm telling
which
you.
which brings me to a E3 story from the last E3 to I think exist. That will be some catharsis for many times in this episode. At that E3, Smash Ultimate had just made its debut. The launch trailer where everyone is here taking the internet by storm. I find a slot to play the game right before day 1 ends. Oh my god, I got smoked. I played as Sonic. I got smoked. It was like
Wow.
it felt like there was a physics change or something, but I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I had to peg that to all sorts of excuses like, oh, it's a physics change. Oh, they don't let me have my control scheme where the tap jump of the control stick up jump feature is disabled. Blah 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 blah. And kind of like you said, it was a bit of an ego stomp because as I was telling my chosen sister, I'm like, I thought I was good at that game. She's like, I thought you were good at that game. And I'm like, I know, you saw it. And she's like, yeah, so did the entire convention center. And I'm like, don't remind me. It's it's just like learning a new game is part of the fun with these fighters if you can
Mhm.
stick it out
Yeah.
because each fighting game does have its own physics that you need to worry about because the physics are how far opponents pop up so you can continue those juggle strings. Each game has different juggle strings with different hitboxes and timings and all that. So it's yeah, um unless it is built on the exact same engine as its predecessor, there will always be a learning curve to this stuff. But
Mhm.
if you fight the learning curve and learn to master it, ooh, you can see some crazy stuff go on.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So fighting games started as a side by side kind of mechanic where you would face an opponent. You would
Right.
either be right next to each other or right across from each other because of the arcade system that they had in Japan, where you would be sitting in front of a screen and then somebody else would be sitting on the opposite side of the screen. So
Yep.
you wouldn't have any kind of interaction with the player. You would just be interacting with the game in front of you. And then, you know, couch right next to each other when fighting games were brought to the home consoles, because it all
Yep.
started in the arcade and then moved over to home consoles, and then after that it moved on to online, and that was a whole separate beast altogether.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now you may have thought you were hot shit at home, beating up all of your friends that you invited over to play your game. And maybe you had like a local scene where you were hot shit and you were the best around. but when the world came knocking at your door, you found out how much of a fucking chump you actually were. And you would attribute it to, "Oh, it's because I'm not there live. There's lag. The internet is frozen." You'd come up with
Yep.
all these excuses, and fighting games have gotten a ton better when it came to the infrastructure needed to make sure that these fighting games were as, bug-free, lag-free as possible when it came to fighting other opponents online.
Yeah.
I think they like, fighting games were at the forefront of making sure that online connectivity was excellent when it came to inputting commands and everything.
While I don't know for sure whether or not it wouldn't surprise me if it was, because any small amount of lag or input delay could throw off an entire combo. And if you need a
Exactly,
combo to win and technology is in your way, even in a little bit, even in a small way, that's game right there.
exactly, exactly, and I think that, fighting games were pioneers in getting the online, capabilities ironed out so that fighting games could have that kind of, response time. Like, I think that because of fighting games' necessity for that, that it helped other sporting games and such develop their online presence as well, because a
I could
fighting
even see
game. Go
I
ahead.
could even see the like those tweaks that the fighting games needed or that fighting games needed to be running at full optimization applying to other genres too. Racing
Mhm.
games is another genre that requires split second inputs, split second
Yep.
decision. And if you can't do it because tech's in the way, that race is run, so to speak. It's the fighting game, I want to say, gave way to a lot in terms of the gaming industry as a whole. It again, using my beloved platform fighter, it actually no. Platform fighters didn't do it first. The traditional fighter did it first, being the crossover fighter. Because how in the world have we gone 33 minutes into this episode without bringing up, honestly, the pinnacle of early year fighting games, Marvel versus Capcom? How have
Mhm.
we not brought that up yet? Just being able to involve all those characters, the unique move sets, huge rosters, huge backgrounds with references to every one of their home series, and
Amazing soundtracks.
mm-hmm, taking us for a ride with those soundtracks. It's just though, like, I feel like Marvel versus Capcom really paved the way for crossover fighters or just fighting game fans to really be allowed to eat, as it were,
Mm, mm.
because the references to the home franchises, mechanics, sheer swaths of fighting styles and play styles. I think it was the Marvel versus Capcom series that actually debuted the team mechanics in a fighting game where you switched between characters or where you had teams of two or three and you could switch between them at any time, team up your supers. I think that was the series that did it first.
I
Where
think
game
so, because I do remember, King of Fighters having team mechanics, but you couldn't switch them out
Yep.
mid-fight.
Like, I think MVC is the one who did that first, where now modern Street Fighter, Dragon Ball fighters, practically the new Marvel fighter you brought up earlier.
Mhm.
All of those fighting games used a lot of mechanics from the original. Yeah, the was it the original or Marvel versus Capcom 2? That one of those two, I forget which. That series had the team mechanic first, I believe, where the rest just borrowed it from.
I believe it was, Marvel versus Street Fighter, actually,
Oh, my
because
bad.
Marvel versus Street Fighter, had, mostly the X-Men teaming up with Street Fighter characters, and they had team mechanics, and you could switch them out as well.
Gotcha. My bad then. Consider me corrected.
Was it
Um,
Street Fighter versus X-Men? Man, I can't remember. It was
well,
one of the because I have the
either way,
collection,
one
so
side was Marvel, one side was Capcom. So,
Yes.
um but it's just it's wild how these and at the end of the day, we're talking about these games like they're super massive innovations from other games in their respective franchises, but they're just tiny tweaks. Tiny tweaks to physics, tiny tweaks to the ways that you can move around the arena and how those tiny tweaks change the entire gameplay loop,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
part of what I was saying before. Like, you have to learn an entirely new system and the ins and outs of it. But when you do, it's it feels so good to feel like you have a character or a battle system on lock.
Mhm. Mhm.
Whatever your subdivision of fighting game of preference is, whether it be the top down arenas like Power Stone, the Smashes, the Street Fighters, the Virtua Fighters. It feels so good to have that sort of system on lock, and even better if you have a main, like a
Yeah.
primary main character where you have know the ins and outs.
That is
Um,
always the first question that you ask anybody when you're playing Smash. Who's your main?
yep.
Always. Always
And
first question.
then depending on your answer, you could either get respect or be told that you didn't answer the question. Take me for example. I don't have a main. I
I think
have
you do.
I have several. My favorite donut. I would say that I have several. At least 4. And
Mm,
ironically enough, none of them belong to Nintendo anymore.
no, but if I could just interject on your theory of having 4 mains, I think that out of those 4 mains that you have, your
Mhm.
main for sure is Banjo.
I thought you were going to say Cloud.
No. I in any fight that I've seen, and any serious fight that I've seen in our group of friends, anytime that you're serious, you will go to Banjo. So that's how I know it's your main. I know that you play Sonic, I know that you play Cloud, and I know that you play Banjo and, who was the other one that I had that I had a second ago and I forgot? Um, oh god, it's gonna kill me.
Reminder hint, does not belong to Nintendo.
Yeah, no, 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 I already said Sonic. Sora, Sora.
Thank you.
Um,
Yep.
yes, those are the 4 that I've seen you play the most. And out of all of the times that we've played together, any time that shit is serious, where you're like, "Okay, okay, you guys are good, but how about this?" It's like you putting on, like, the fucking Infinity Gauntlet when you're, like, playing as fucking, Banjo-Kazooie. Like, that's your guy. 100%.
Okay, okay, I can see that. I'm just going back in my head, which is why I thought you'd say Cloud. To your 1 year anniversary birthday stream when you opened it up to your community for Smash. I could not join on the mic that morning, but I remember playing a few rounds as Cloud,
Mhm.
including my last fight, which really was. Um, and I think it was Chronic actually, 2 episodes in a row that I mentioned him. I think it was I think it was Chronic actually who said, "Dang, Grant did not want to go." Grant was ruthless in in his last fight,
Telling
and
you,
that
man.
was Cloud was my guy for that fight.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and I just remember this round robin thing we did when we tried to get everybody back together and succeeded, where y'all insisted. So if I sound like I'm smack talking again, I am just recounting the events as they happened. Um, I remember you guys telling me that no, I I do not sub out until I get fourth or third,
Yep.
right?
Mhm,
10 rounds as Cloud non-stop.
mhm.
You guys asked for that.
Yeah, we did, we did.
And
And
that's
we
why
would again.
I would love it if you did. Um, all of that to say, I thought you were going to say Cloud was my main of mains. Getting back to that, there's almost like this. There's almost like you have to have just this one team or this one main on lock in the fighting game community in order to be
Mhm,
taken very seriously. But as we've been discussing, I like the ability to have few different mains, a few different teams. Just if I'm feeling spicy or want to change my team up, I have another arrangement. Like
mhm,
when I did try Dragon Ball Fighters, just because I felt like being funny, I had a team of kids, which was Teen Gohan, Kid Goku, and uh, Kid Buu, and I had a Goku team, just with three of Goku's like 6 or 7 versions in fighters. I never really got it all serious and locked down, but I like having the variety.
See, here's my one gripe with Fighters. Fighters is a fantastic game. Really a love letter to Dragon Ball Z. I
All of
really
Dragon Ball,
wish
really,
all yeah,
because
because they have Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super stuff in there as well.
and
I
they
don't
just added Daima Goku, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Man, I need to get back into that game. It's been such a long time. But anyways, the one gripe that I have against the game is that you have so many iterations of the same fighter when all you could have done is have the characters power up to that level. Like,
that's true. But see, that's what games like Sparking Zero are for. The 3D arena fighter style Dragon Ball, where you can either select the form of Goku you want, or, depending on the time period of Goku, pick the base Goku of that era and then cycle through his forms at will.
okay, that's cool. I did not know that about that game because I have not played it.
N-
Um, one of
But
like we were talking about mechanics and evolution of games, and we've talked a lot about you know, the addition of the 8 directional fights
yep,
or 3D, 2D fights, um, installation of block buttons and fighters
yep,
instead of holding back on the keyboard or on the controller
controller.
or the
Yep.
joystick. Um, one thing that we haven't talked about too much, I think, is the ability in some fighting games uh, of, especially, and this is like specific to Dragon Ball Z slash GT, because one of the first Dragon Ball fighting games that I ever played was Dragon Ball GT.
Final
And
bout.
yes,
Oh my
in
god.
that game, there was a mechanic that if you fired off your Kamehameha or power move, power beam move, you could fire another one back and then have like a back and forth battle where you would need to mash the fuck out of the buttons in
Yup.
order to win it.
Beam
I
clashes.
love that shit. Love that shit because it's like it's that whole fighting spirit, term where
Yep.
you be like smashing as much as you can until your forearm muscles just turn to cheese and you'd be like standing over your bruised and beaten opponent. Uh, just like, look, my forearm muscles were stronger today. Um,
My biceps
pause,
beat you out this fight.
pause.
Pause.
Hey yo. Um, but yeah, like, that was one of the coolest mechanics, that was in games, I think, that I don't think has really been, done up because I don't think they even have that in fighters, right?
I mean, they don't have, like, they do let beams cancel each other out, but you don't get to mash the button to try to overpower. Bringing it back to Sparking Zero, they did implement it there. And they
Oh, cool.
also have a physical version of it where if you use a rush attack that starts with like a punch or a kick or a headbutt or something, if two players do that, then you have to mash the button to see how many hits you get in. You get more
Mm.
hits in than your opponent, you smack them away
So what
and
you're
you get to try
saying
again.
is I need to play Sparking Zero.
If you would like to, I think I actually have the disc here on me,
Oh,
actually.
shit, yeah, let's do
And,
that, I'm down.
and, it's actually getting or just got a sort of revamp big DLC update, which adds more characters, a new
Mm,
like pseudo explore the world mode,
mm,
new stages to throw in more love, I should say, for the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT. Because originally it was Z, Super, tiny bit of Dragon Ball, tiny bit of GT, and then primary DLC was for Daima.
mm,
And now they've added a bunch of characters that were in, because Sparking Zero is in everything except the name Budokai Tenkaichi 4. So
mm.
they brought over characters that were in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 that still hadn't made the cut to Sparking Zero yet, in addition to some new ones.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a massive roster where you can either pick the form of your character or transition to them at will if you pick base.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Beam clashes, physical attack clashes. You can even customize your special moves now because they added that feature. I think there's an adult version of the father son Kamehameha. I need to look
Mm.
that up.
There's another thing that I was just reminded about. We have talked, at great length about DLC and how much, we abhor it. Um, in the fighting game sense, though, you have these fighting games that come out with the base, and
Yeah.
then they add fighters later through
Yup.
paid DLC, and
Yep.
you don't need these fighters at all to enjoy the base game, but
Right.
it's a really like, we I specifically hate DLC a ton, and I know that you also have your thoughts on it, which are mostly, fuck DLC, but in the fighting game community, in these fighting games like Dragon Ball Fighters or, Sparking Zero or Street Fighter 6, or Tekken, 8, you have these characters that are added onto, the game later on.
Yup.
You have all of these things that are added later on, um, and it makes the game, it adds replay value to it, a ton more replay value to it,
Oh, absolutely. And
and I
if I may
yeah, go
pivot
ahead.
to Smash one more time for a second, I vividly recall the day where I was and what I was doing, the day that and we talked in a different episode about what
Yes.
happened when Sonic was added to Brawl and I made $100. But I'm
Mhm,
talking when Sora was confirmed for Smash Ultimate as the last fighter in DLC Pack 2.
mhm,
Oh my god, the internet blew up. It blew up.
mhm,
You didn't need Sora in Ultimate to fully enjoy it because every Nintendo and Smash fan pretty much got what they wanted from the base roster with character reveals.
mhm,
But
mhm,
DLC in the fighting game space can really serve to add hype, like you said, replay value, and to just bring more fans into the game by virtue of adding a long-time character or a character that that fan specifically really hoped would be there.
mhm.
Like in Ultimate, because of Ultimate specifically, and to me, any character they can add in Smash on top of the DL post DLC Ultimate roster, any character to me is just a happy bonus. I have
Yep.
every single one of my huge favorite gaming characters in Smash right now.
Mhm.
So, whatever next Smash project releases, if all of those characters come back, if a fraction of those characters come back, I will be set. Like, and I know that.
One more thing. One more
Hmm.
thing. Um, so we've talked a lot about different fighting games. We've talked a lot about Smash because it's honestly one of the games that you and I play together the most.
Right.
One of my favorite things that they did in Smash is when they brought over, um, characters from Tekken and
Tekken
King
and
of
Street Fighter.
Fighters and Street Fighter, how they changed the controls for those characters so that if you were a fighting game player from that specific franchise, your character wouldn't seem out of place in this game system because
Yep.
they allowed combos and the moves that you would do for the specific special moves, like the Hadouken or the Shoryuken or the Tatsumaki Senpaku, Pyaku, or however you pronounce it. Um, they allowed the controls, the input commands for those moves to happen. And one of my favorite character, I would say my main in Smash is Terry because
I can see
of
that.
the abilities to combo, because of the abilities to do the super moves that Terry is able to do once he has accumulated enough damage. It got to the point where as soon as anybody saw the go attached to Terry, they always gunned for me because they knew that I would hit them
Yep.
with the Buster Wolf or the
Yep.
Power Geyser. So
Yep.
I love how Smash took those characters' move sets and still had them in the game. Because
Yeah.
even with, what's the name of the character from Tekken? I always forget his name. The
Um.
something Mishima, I think, isn't it?
Uh. It's Kazuya. Kazuya.
Kazuya. Kazuya. So his character has a 10-hit combo in the Tekken game, which you can also do in Smash Brothers.
Yep. And
That is
what like
such a great thing to have in the game that they not only, respect the IP and the fandom by having little things like that in the game, although it is simplified, but still, the fact that it's even in there is really cool.
and I want to piggyback off this because it's a perfect way for us to talk about this. I am much more of a fan of the simple button schemes and learning what button combos go where that Smash brings.
Mhm,
So, as a primarily Smash fighter, I can still play Ryu and Ken and Terry and Kazuya using Smash controls, not
mhm,
having to orient myself with going back to the E3 story, the quarter circle back stick in a Z formation, light tap A, then jump button. I can't do that in the heat of a combat. I'm sorry. But with the Smash versions of these characters, I can see the appeal and the just how big of icons they are
mhm.
with their flashiest moves being put on full display.
Yep.
And it speaks to accessibility, it speaks to introducing new fans to franchises, which Smash is chef's kiss perfect at doing. It it yeah, I love the fact that they finally started adding traditional fighting game characters to Smash
Mhm,
to just celebrate all of gaming in general. And that's any of these fighting games can and should be celebrated on their own merits
mhm,
because they all have their fans, they all have their mechanics, and honestly, they're all just great to watch in a professional setting. Even if you don't play the games for tournaments like EVO, watching them is insane. And frankly, I would watch an EVO Smash Ultimate tournament more than I would watch a football game any day of the week.
mhm.
But if I may transition us
Please.
to our game for this episode, one little
Mhm.
thing that we've sort of alluded to with some names is the special attack. So, my game for you today, and it's perfect because it ended up being a very Smash heavy episode,
It really
is
did.
is this a final smash? I am going to give you 15 attack names. You need to
Okay.
tell me, yes or no, if they are a final smash. Bonus points if you can tell me the character.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm game. Let's go.
This one should be a little bit in your wheelhouse. The Shin Ryuken.
Yes, it is a final smash,
Yes, it is. Can you
and
tell
it's
me
done by
whose?
Ryu.
Ken, actually.
Oh, does uh sorry, Ryu does the Hadouken, not the Shinryuken.
Both of them, actually, depending on your range from your opponent, have two different final smashes.
What?
Both of them do. Ryu, when
Oh,
you're far away, has the
does the
Shinku
Hadouken.
Hadoken,
Yep. Mhm, mhm.
and up close has the Shin Shoryuken.
Oh, okay.
The Shin Ryuken is Ken's up close final smash.
Mm, damn. Well, I got 1 point.
You did. And you got the main point. All that other stuff was bonus point fluff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Final Horizon.
The Final Horizon. I'm gonna say it is, and I'm gonna say that it belongs to, Villager or Isabel.
It is not a final smash.
Ah, damn it.
Funnily enough, it is the name of Sonic Frontiers' third DLC.
Oh, god damn it. I knew you'd fucking throw Sonic in here. God fucking damn it. Always the same goddamn thing with you, Grant. Sonic this, Sonic that.
My guy,
God damn
my
it.
guy, here's the thing. It was going to be twice, but for some of these, I, looked up different, a Final Attack sounding names. And Sonic's actual Final Smash was on the list before this came up. And I'm like, nah,
Mm.
two Sonic references in one game, that's too much even for me. So you're
That
lucky
was
you're lucky I pared it down.
that's so close. Like, it definitely sounds like it could be, the villagers' last, the final smash for them
It makes
because of the
sense.
Horizon bit.
Yeah, New
And
Horizons. I get you.
exactly,
It makes
exactly.
sense.
You tricky son of a bitch. Okay, let's move on.
Max Malicious Moonsault.
I'm gonna say no, it's not a final smash.
This disappoints me. It is belonging to the
What?
wrestling Pokemon Incineroar.
Brother, I had know nothing about, Incineroar. I never play Incineroar.
I thought you'd get a kick out of him because of how wrestling inspired he is in his moves.
If it was Halucha, I would be all over that.
That's fair. Mega Hawlucha for Smash? Question mark.
Ooh.
We need that.
Yep.
Um, Spectral Dominion.
Spectral Dominion. Oh, man, this definitely sounds like it is one, but I don't wanna say it is. You know what? Fuck it. It is, and it belongs to one of the Belmonts.
It's not.
God damn it. Ugh.
This one should be more familiar. The Triple Wolf.
The Triple Wolf. I'm gonna say it is, and it belongs to, the, wolf guy from Star Fox, Star Wolf,
It is,
but it doesn't
but
belong to
it's
them.
but it's Terry's
What is it called?
Triple Wolf because it starts with the Power Geyser and then he lands the Cinematic Buster Wolf.
Oh. Mm. Okay. Alright. I don't know moves. I just do them.
I mean, every time we play Smash and you're Terry and you land the non-final Smash Buster Wolf, I hear you saying Buster Wolf,
Yeah,
Buster
but that's the
Wolf.
thing. That's the thing. When we play Smash, we don't use final smashes.
I mean, you don't even need I'm talking about when you have the go meter up
Yes,
and you
yes.
do yeah, he says all the time, Buster Wolf. And he
That's why
lunges
I
in with,
say that.
Are you okay? Buster
Mhm,
Wolf. So
mhm.
I thought, the the triple wolf. I thought that would be a clue to you there. My bad.
D
Um,
no, don't even say my bad because it's I should have known. I should have known.
the Crimson Cataclysm.
Oh, man. Bruh, I'm gonna get all of these fucking wrong. Crimson Catalysm. I'm trying to think of what character it would belong to before I'm thinking if it's a final smash or not.
I'd say start thinking about it if it's a final smash first. Start there.
It is a final smash.
It is not.
God damn it. Alright, alright.
Okay.
Moving on. Moving on.
The Triforce Slash.
Yes, absolutely a smash move, and it belongs to Link.
I'll give you both the regular point and the extra credit. I kept
Hell
this
yeah.
one because of our comboing against our friends Amiibo, where you used Little Mac to hold him in, and I lunged in with a Triforce Slash to take him from
Amazing.
0 to D stock. Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven.
No, oh my god, I don't progenitor god something heaven?
Ruptured Heaven.
Ruptured heaven. I'm gonna say no. It's not.
It is. It
Fuck.
belongs to
I was no,
Byleth
no,
from Fire Emblem.
mm, I was gonna guess that it belonged to, Kazuya.
I feel like that also would have been fair. Though his is probably named around something based on the devil gene, if I
Probably.
had to guess. The Negative Zone.
Mm. Yes, it is.
It is.
Oh,
Can
thank
you
God.
guess
Okay.
whose?
Oh, man, I'm, like, trying to go through the entire fucking roster of that game. Um,
Well, you can rule out Ken, Terry, and a version of Link because we've already had those as confirmed.
right. Negative zone. Mm, I am I don't know. I don't know who.
It is Luigi's from Smash Bros. Brawls specifically.
Mm,
He does a weird, trippy little dance, inverts a big part of the screen around him, and causes a myriad of effects like tripping, random sleeping, and getting stunned.
mm,
Coming from the darkness Luigi felt by constantly being in Mario's shadow.
wow. Is that
All those
canon?
times. That is the inspiration for the move, and I say it's partially your fault because you call him Green Mario all the time. The Omni Slash.
Yes, of course. That belongs to Cloud.
Double points, you got it.
Hell yeah. That one was easy. I got that one.
The Mighty Ginginator.
Oh, man. If anyone, I think it would belong to Wario, but his is garlic related, not ginger related. I'm gonna say it's not.
Oh, it is. And it
God
has nothing
damn
to
it.
do with Wario. It's Banjo Kazooie's.
Uh,
It's the giant Jinjo statue that they use to beat Grunty at the end of Banjo Kazooie.
I had no idea what that even I've never played Banjo-Kazooie.
You need to change that, brother. The Doctor Finale.
It I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it is, and it belongs to Dr. Mario.
Double right on both counts.
Yes, okay. Oh, I was so close to saying it wasn't.
Got it right on both counts.
Let's go.
The NES Zapper Posse.
I'm gonna say it is, and it belongs to, the Duck Hunt dog.
Double right again. Let's go. Stampede.
Stampede. Mm. I'm gonna say it is, and it belongs to Yoshi.
Double right again. Let's
Ooh,
go.
fuck yeah. Getting it.
Last one. Volt Tackle.
Volt Tackle. I'm gonna say it is, and it belongs to Pikachu.
You know what? I'll give you full credit for that. If you had said it belonged to Pichu, that would also be true.
Alright, alright. You know what? I'll take the half point on that one.
No, no, dude, I'm giving you full credit. I'm saying because both of them have the same final smash, the fact that you said one, it works.
Oh,
If you'd have said
gotcha,
the
gotcha,
other,
okay.
it also would have worked. My guy,
Damn. That
let's
those
see.
last
Y-
4 came in clutch.
They sure did. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the 15.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Honestly, based off of your feedback between episodes, this is the fairest game I've designed yet. So
Oh my goodness.
with that, we hope you've enjoyed this episode, this slugfest of an episode where we talked fighting games and everything we love about them. I have been Grant Patrizio, and with me, as always, the resident fighter, the freshest baked luchador,
Freshest fried luchador,
freshest fried, excuse me.
Senor Donut.
And we hope you join us next time when we talk about something. You'll have to join in to see what that is. Good night, everybody.
Pasta mañana.
Is this a final smash? I am going to give you We Talkin' Fighting Games. Whether it
Hell
be
yeah.
the traditional 2D